Jai Hind everyone, welcome again to the Patriotic IAS. Let us start our IAS PCSwala Delhi current affairs. Under that we will study near about 8 topic that we are going to cover as per the relevance of the UPSC as well as the state PCS. So let's see what are the topic that we are going to cover. The most important topic that Gaganyaan crew that has been decided. So we will study that where what is the this Gaganyaan mission and what is the basics. Okay, so it will be for the prelims as well as for the mains. Okay, so it will help in the both. Then we will study 100 genome project India is about to complete. So what are the its impact that is going to we have, and how we are going to get benefit of this project. So we will study after that. Okay, this will be the mains perspective science and technology GS paper 3. After that we will study this Simlipal Tigers Reserve. So this will be for the prelims under GS paper 3 environment. After that we will study this Murga Mutt that is in the Chittadurg. So we will study the basics again about this. So it will be as per the art and culture and only for the prelims perspective. After that we will study this UNLF. This is the insurgent group in the Manipur that is associated with the Meeti tribe, and this is one of the most dangerous, most violent group. So we will see that what is the condition. So it will be under GS paper 3 internal security mains perspective. Okay. After that, we will study this the power that is given to destroy the interception orders. This is given to the different security agency. This has been given to the Secretary as well. So we will study what is the implication of this power. Okay. After that, there is a very lengthy article on the green elections. So how the elections that is being conducted. India is going to its Lok Sabha election into the May. Maybe it could be the in the March, April, and by the May the result will be declared. So we will study that how we can adopt. So it will be for the environmental perspective as well as the essay. You can use into the essay. So here in the both area we can use it. And in the last we will study why science needs sustainable funding. Okay, so this is here. So it is for the GS paper 3 mains perspective as per the science and technology. So let's start with the first news. Okay, so we have finalized 4 crew, and out of this 4, 3 will be a final who will be for the Gaganyaan mission. Okay, so what is the basics? Gaganyaan mission, we want to send our astronauts into the space for the research, and there will be the 3 astronauts out of 3. 4 has been selected and they have been trained into the Russia. Okay, so what is the name of these astronauts? Prasant Balakrishnan Nair and Captain Ajit Krishnan. Okay, Group Captain Anand Pratap and Wing Commander Subhanshu Shukla. These are the names. Okay, and they will be in the space for the near about for the 7 days. So it is the first human mission in the space from the India. Okay, so this satellite will be into the low Earth orbit. What is the low Earth orbit? The altitude for the low Earth orbit is from 150 kilometer to 2000 meter. Okay, so this is the Earth, and what will be the distance? The distance of the Earth, this low Earth orbit is between 150 kilometer. The outer layer, the distance will be 2000 kilometer. After that, there is the middle altitude orbit and then the high altitude orbit. So middle altitude, it is 2000 to the 35,000, near about 35,800 something. Okay, and above 35,000, this will be the high latitude after 35,000. Okay, so this is the different altitude. Under that, this is the orbit. The satellite rotate the Earth on this path, and why This is low Earth orbit. This is used for the Earth observation. Means whenever you have to take picture or anything, so clarity is important. And if the distance is low, it is easy for taking the pictures with the clarity. For example, it is also used into the oceanography and other such thing where you need to observe the Earth in a clear manner. Okay. So integrated airdrop test, all this test has been already happened because this is important to test for whether our mission is facing any of the issue. And we are using this semi-cryogenic integrated engine. Why the semi-cryogenic integrated engine? It has the fuel that is the kerosene. Can you believe kerosene is used in this? And for the cryogenic, it is the liquid hydrogen and liquid oxygen. Liquid hydrogen is main thing, and liquid hydrogen is as the oxidizer. Okay. And in the cryogenic, this is very difficult because the hydrogen is kept into the very low liquid form and at a very low temperature. You can imagine that the as low minus 253 degrees centigrade. Okay, so that the density could be achieved at the higher level. So please remember the temperature is minus 253 degrees centigrade, minus 253 degrees centigrade, and for this oxygen it is near about 184 degrees centigrade. Near about, it can vary 180, 181 and 185. Okay, so this is the temperature under that, and this is very difficult to achieve, and that's why achieve and keep it into the tank. Okay, so this all you should know. This will be sent by the SCE 2000 semi-cryogenic engine and the stage which will increase the payload capacity of the launch vehicle, because we want to send the people, the astronauts, so we need a capacity that could lift the higher weight. Okay, next important news, this is from the front page. Cross voting in UP and Himachal and allow VGP to claim 2 extra seats. Okay, so as we have studied that for the Rajya Sabha, there is the proportional voting system. Under that, if there is the just let me explain again what is this proportional voting system. Proportional voting system is if there is the 100 MLAs and there is the 10 seats for Rajya Sabha. You must be knowing that these members of Rajya Sabha are elected by the MLAs, member of legislative assemblies of the each state. For example, just assume that if there is the 100 MLAs into the UP and 10 seats are there for the UP, and if out of 100 MLA, 70 MLA from the BJP, so it is the 70%. 20% from the SP, so it is the 20%. Okay, 20% of the MLA, and if 10 are from the Congress, so it is the 10% of the total seat. Okay, so if the seat is distributed, so 70% seat will go to the BJP, so 20% to the SP and 1% for the Congress. So this will be the 10 seats. But here the voting takes place, and if there is the 10 members, so they will vote their 10 members. Each members will have the quota that if each one get the 10 votes, they will be selected as the Rajya Sabha member. But many a times there is the cross voting. The MLAs from this vote for the member candidate of BJP. So if they will 10 of SP will vote for the BJP, so it's reduced to the 1 and it will increase to the 8. This happens. Okay. So this is all about you should know. So let's see. Next important news, that is with respect to the genome project. This genome project means genetic composition of the different samples of the people will be taken, and you know that in the India there are a lot of diversity, and we have taken near about 46 100, near about 4,600 population group, and their genome, their genes has been tested. It will help in to know that how the evolution of the different disease, how has been taken place in the different groups, because they have the different type of the living environment and their genes has been mutated. Okay, so we will know that what type of the disease is impacting this type of the gene if we will know that each group's the gene property. Okay, so by knowing the one or two or three members of the group, we can do this type of the analysis for the whole group. Okay, so first we will know that what is the composition, what type of disease they are facing, what type of the disease they can be easily impacted, and what should be the diagnosis process, what should be the treatment process. So a lot of benefits here given, that how we can improve the diagnosis, medical counseling, genetic predisposition to disease, and develop the personalized and customized drug. Okay, all these things will be happen if we will know. So we have done for the 10,000. Already the US and UK have done for the 1 lakh for their population. Here it is given the United Kingdom, China and United States. They all have done for the 1 lakh of their population. India is doing for the 10,000. Okay, so this will be coupled with the data achieving the Indian Biological Data Center, exemplified the project commitments to transparency, collaboration, future research endeavor. So all this will be further the impact. Okay. So you should know all this. By that they have taken the blood sample. And who are the main institute? The main institute is the Indian Institute of Science, please remember. And this Center for the Cellular and Molecular Biology, Hyderabad. Okay, so you should know. We will take with this Simlipal 6 more female tigers from the region. So you should know that this Simlipal comes under the Simlipal Tiger Reserve, as well as it comes under the bioreserve. Okay, so it also comes under the UNESCO World Network of the Bioreserve. So please remember that this is important. Besides that, you should know that this melansic. What is the melansic? Melansic means there is the strip pigments, black pigments, that is the darker into the this type of the tigers. So it was rare and it is found in the Simlipal. This is very much specific to the Simlipal as well as the Mayurbhanj district. This is situated into the Mayurbhanj district of the Odisha. So pseudo melanistic and melanistic. So let's see that what is the pseudo, because it is the black pigments. The black color is very dark into the melanistic, and pseudo because there is the, if there is the normal tiger and there is the co-breeding and co-production, so there will be the pseudo melanistic black pigments will be there, but this will be not as much as many a times it is known as the black tigers. If you will see the pictures, you will have the more clarity. For example, look, this tiger has the melanistic strip and this tiger has the less, because it is the pseudo, not the real melanistic. So this is the difference, and this tiger has the clear cut the pigments, black pigments. So this is the difference between the pseudo and the melanistic pigments. Okay, so you should know all about. Next important news we will take is this Mudghar Rajendra Bruhan Mutt. This is in the Chitradurg in the Karnataka. So who is the Mudgu? This Mutt is into the news because there has been the child sex abuse case from the pontiff. So you should not go into that, but you should know the art and culture perspective of this. The Muruga is known as the son of the Shiva. So this you should know. And this mutt is in the Chitradurg. This is the important because it was constructed in the 12th century. Sri Jagat Guru Mudga Rajendra Bruhan Mutt. This is known as this. Okay. Next important news again is with respect to this temple in the Palakkad. This is in the Kerala, and this is very close to the Silent Valley. And the name of this is the Manapullikau Bhagwati temple. Okay, and this is associated with the Sakti sect of the Hinduism. And there is the two special celebration that is celebrated here. One is the Manupallikku Vellu. This is into the last week of the February or the first week of the March, and other is the Ram Navami that is celebrated into the September and October month. Okay, so this you should know. Next important news we will take is this with the internal security. This is the case, this is the insurgents group. You should know that what are the major insurgents group into the Manipur. One of this insurgents group that was into the agreement for the suspension of the any of the activity, and the name of this was the United National Liberation Front, and this is associated with the METI group, and this is the oldest insurgent group. Okay, so there was the agreement between the state government of Manipur, Home Ministry of the central government, and this group that they will suspend their operations. But the thing is that we have seen that after the suspension of their operation, there has been the more demand for the extortion. They have also had into the recently seen the riots, law and order situation into the Manipur. Under that, more than 200 people died and more than 60,000 people displaced. This was between the Kuki Jo people and the Meeti people that is living into the valley, and Kuki Jo people, those who these tribe hill people, they are living on the hillside. So you should know the what is the situation. This group was formed into the 1964, and it was declared as the unlawful under the this unlawful prevention activity prevention act 1967. This has been now this act is very much into the news because this act has been used against the journalists, opposition leaders. Okay, so you should know. Next important news is with respect to the just this, so you can use into the ethics such that the Supreme Court issue the contempt notice for the Patanjali, and they are talking about that they have the permanent solution for everything, but they are not ready to give the research paper or the proof, and that's why Supreme Court has asked that please clarify, and they are not able to clarify. That's why they have issued the contempt notice. What they were telling, they were said in one of the advertisement they have the permanent solution for the disease like the obesity, blood pressure, asthma, everything. They have such a permanent solution. So this comes against the violation of the Drug and Magic Remedy Objectionable Advertisement Act 1954 and its rule, because you cannot claim without the proving that, and they are ready to prove, they are ready to claim anything without the proving anything. But for example, they claim that they have the solution for the COVID even when there was the no vaccines, or the even there was no clarity of the this parasite organism itself. One more thing you should know is this: the former judge of Supreme Court, A.K. Khankiwalkar, has been appointed as chairperson of our anti-corruption ombudsman, that is known as the Lokpal. This is for the state PCL. A.M. Khankiwalkar, this is now the chairman of the Lokpal. Next news you should know is with respect to this: Home Secretary gets power to destroy interception order. Recently, it was given to the some of the important security agency. They were the 10 security agency, but this has given to the Home Secretary as well. So there is the chances of misuse, and this create the threat on the our freedom of speech, expression, our privacy. Mostly, it is against the privacy, right to privacy, because if you are going to intercept our messages, and if it is not, if it becomes the more prevalence, it will hurt the means the freedom of privacy. Okay, and that is related to the right to life itself. Okay, so the power has been given to the Home Secretary itself. This has been a bit controversial. Let's solve few of the questions that we have covered till now. So we will start with the first question. Please solve this question pause your video, answer this with the very carefully, the way you are going to attempt in the UPSC. Take 30 second, 35 second to think, then attempt. We will discuss all this thing during our Furious 5 session. Okay. First question, which of the following is a distinct character of low Earth orbit? A. Geostationary satellite positioning. B. High level of the atmospheric drag. Or beetle period measured into day or weeks. Rapid orbital period around the Earth. Please answer. Answer on the basis of what we have studied into the low Earth orbit. Please use your mind. Next question. Low Earth orbits are particularly suitable for which of the following? Telecommunication satellite network, deep space observation telescope, planetary probe. Select the answer using the code given below. 1 only, 2, 1 and 2, 2 and 3, 1 and 3. Okay, so the correct answer, please answer. Next question. Consider following ISRO Earth observation satellite. Resource Sat, Cartosat, Ocean Sat. Which of the above operates in the low Earth orbit? 1 and 2 only, 2 only, 1, 2 and 3 only, 1, 2 and 3. Please answer. Next question. Which of the following is not a key objective of the Gaganyaan mission? To demonstrate India's capability to send humans into the space and bring them back safely. To develop and qualify the technologies required for the human space flight, to train astronauts for the future space mission, to explore the possibility of mining resource on the moon. Please answer. Next question. The 10,000 genome project has potential application in which of the following fields? Personalized medicine, evolutionary anthropology, epidemiology. Okay. Select the answer using the code given below. 1 and 2 only, 1 and 3 only, 2 and 3 only, 1, 2 and 3. Please answer. Next question. Consider following tribes. First Kond, 2 Kol, 3 Santhal. How many of the above tribal community are traditionally associated with the Simlipal Biosphere Reserve? 1 only, only 2, all the 3, none. Please answer. Next important news that we will take is from the editorial news, and it is with respect to the global order, and global order into the context of the different groupings. It start with the UNSC, United Nations, and it goes to the different organs. So it's still that yes, there is the need for the reform. And as we saw that the United Nations, this General Assembly and its Secretary General as well has said that there is the lack of unity among the UNSC members that had perhaps the fatally undermined its authority, because UN is not as much effective as it was invasive, it was imagined. Because now, look the recent example, the attack of Israel and the Hamas, the attack of the Russia on the Ukraine. This is against the international treaty, this is against the homicide convention. Okay, but the thing is going on because though there is the lack of unity. Okay, so what is the needed? There is the demand for the reform, because this body is representing the global order that was 75 years back during the 1940s, because we saw that this UNSC comes with the historical background into the Atlantic Charter of 1941, and it's further it's give way to the evolution of the different institutions such as the World Bank under the International Monetary Fund and the International Bank for the Reconstruction. That is later become the Reconstruction and Development, that become the World Bank. Further, we saw that General Agreement on the Tariff and Trade, that is known as the GATT, that's further replaced with the World Trade Organization in 1995. So please remember that all this represent the global order, because now we see that there are lot of changes. Decolonization takes place, developing countries rose to the power. For example, India, Brazil, South Africa, all that they are demanding for their justified their rightful place into the global world order, that is not reflecting. For example, here it is given that voting right into the IMF. This shows that what is the voting right for the Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, this BRICS countries. Okay. This IMF has given here the role of the IMF, that gives the global at the global level the financial stability, and yes, it provide the advice and provide the fund to the countries whenever there is the financial difficulty. Okay. So overall, the UN system, which rests on the series of international treaties that are now formally embedded into the international law, is smoothed by the conduct of the international relations. Okay. So here it is given, yes, decolonization, Cold War, and breakup of the Soviet Union brought the challenge to this dispensation. But still, despite the growth of so many other alternatives, such as the NAM, non-alignment movement, or G77, this group for the negotiating, asserting its role into the for developing countries into the different forum for the negotiation on the trade and commerce. Okay. Still, it has given recent OECD 38 member countries Quad, this just 4 member countries, China led Asian Infrastructure Bank, but they all have not replaced the UN. UN is still the system that need to the default options. We are going for the any solution into the end to the forum of the UN. So here it has given that what is the needed, how this can be reform, what is the need, and what is the need for the consensus. So this is given in this article. Okay. Next important news with respect to this is stop the deterring and encouraging green election in India. So green elections, what is the green elections? Means less use of the environmentally degradable substance such as the plastic and other such things that pollute the soil, rivers, overall environment. So it has given that you can use the points into the whenever the philosophical essay comes into the examination. So you can use the here it has given that the recent example, that is the Sri Lanka and Estonia in the Eastern Europe. So please remember these two countries, they have experimented, and we have the Indian example of the Kerala. Here into the 2019, the general election in the Kerala, the State Election Commission that urged political parties to avoid the single-use plastic material while campaigning. And beside that, the Kerala High Court also imposed the ban on flax and non-degradable material into the electioneering. Okay. So please remember, it is started with the Sri Lanka. The first experiment is started in 2009 by the Sri Lanka. This the Podujana Peramunna party. Okay, please remember that they launched the world first carbon sensitive environmentally friendly campaign. Okay, so what we need to do it on the each stage, campaigning stage, when the voting is taken place, when the result is declared. Here it is given that the eco-friendly practice at every stage, from the campaign material to the election rallies and polling booth. Okay, so what are the material that is generally used, like the PVC flags, banner, hoarding, and disposable items. Okay, so you should remember where we have to work on this. Here it has given one of the data that in the previous American presidential election, the one member candidate used that much fuel, means his footprints, that was equal to the 500 Americans during the elections. Means his conduct emerged so much fuel that impacted, that was emitted by the 500 Americans. Okay, what is the most vulnerable, most focused area where the emissions happen? The transportation of the voters and logistic to and from the polling booth. This, if we will consider, so it can impact in a positive manner. Okay. What we need here, it has given the solution. We need a integrated approach where we can integrating each stakeholder for the election. It is start from the voters, it include the government, political parties, this election commission of India, media and civil society. All they will be, if they are integrated and if every level it is implemented. For example, election commission had to bring change into its model code of the conduct to bring green election. The state legislature and our union legislature should also bring the change in the different act like the representation of the people's act, so that we can bring the overall process of this election. So these are the points you can use here. The most challenging thing is the financial challenge, because if you are going to shift into the green election, there will be need extra budgetary need, extra financial need. So this, if we can tackle, the whole issue can be tackled, and here we need to the eco-friendly material and the technology that can resolve the issue. Okay. The editorial, the first editorial that is talking about the decoding spending, latest household spending survey signals some shift into the people's priorities. Already we have discussed a lot that how the household expenditure and consumption has been shifted from the food item to the non-food item. The food item shared has been reduced. Here it is given that the overall increase into the per capita consumption expenditure, that is given 33% for the rural, and for the yes, for the urban, and for the rural it is the 40.4%. So here it has compared with the overall inflation, and they have given that the picture is not that much brighter as it is projected, because the inflation is also very high. And if we will compare with the inflation, this is lesser than the income increase, means inflation has been higher as compared to the income increased. Okay, here it is given the average MP, this monthly per capita expenditure only rose by the 2000 02 for the rural household and 3544 for the urban peers. Okay, so here it has compared that it has brought the share of food from the overall income, and it is good if the share of the food consumption decreases. That means the people are going to spend more on the education, more on the health, more on the other thing. This is good. Okay, next important news, again it is with respect to our Gaganyaan. We know that the Gaganyaan, there is the crew that will be sent to the space and into the lower earth orbit. Lower earth orbit, you should know, this is from the 150 meter to the 2000 meter. Generally it average is the around the 1000 meter. Okay, 1000 kilometer, 150 kilometer, 2000 kilometer. Okay, now we have selected 4 of the astronauts. 4 out of 4, 3 will be the finalized. Okay, so there it all given. We are going to use this launch vehicle M3 LMV3, I think L. Okay, so this is all about. Next important news that we are going to take is this: why science needs sustainable funding. Why science needs sustainable funding? Because the science is the backbone for the development. For example, if you don't have the technology, you will do the thing that is more costly, your economy will not good, you will be not competitive. Those who have the technology, they can make better product and people will choose that product. So if technology is very important, wherever there is the higher technology, for the European countries and the US, they sell their product at the higher cost. They produce the high value product, like the laptop, they produce the supercomputers, they produce the missiles, they produce the fighter jets. That all that coming from those who are working, and the different other machinery into the industrial area. So if India want to grow, India also need to invest in the science and technology research. That's why we can search for the better technology and we can compete with the European companies. Okay, because the ultimately the productivity will be high if you have the better technology. Okay, so that's why India aims to and today we are celebrating our National Science Day. Why we celebrate this National Science Day? It is the on the occasion that Dr. C.V. Raman discovered the Raman effect. What is the Raman effect? It's talk about the whenever there is it related to the scattering. Whenever there is the light falls on any particle, some is absorbed, some is reflected, and this is the two type of the reflection: elastic and unelastic. Unelastic, where the observation will be there into the particle, and by that measuring this reflected rays, scattered rays, we can know the composition of this overall particle structure. Okay, so this is very important. So you should know. So for the theme of this year, this is the science for the sustainable development. Okay. And the science and technology, we know that this is the key of the India's journey toward the becoming the developed countries by the 2047, as our Prime Minister now mentioning about it. Okay. The thing is not, the picture is not good, because we aiming to become the developed countries and the leaders, but the expenditure on the science and technology now is only 0.67 or 0.64% of the GDP. Okay, and it has reduced from the 0.8 that was in the 2008 and 9. Okay. So this is not good, and yes, the reduction is consistent, because from the 2008 to 9 it reduced 0.7 into the 2017-18, and now it is near about 0.64%. But if you will see that most of the our policy, our science, technology and innovation policy of 2013 that aimed that we are going to spend our gross expenditure on research and technology, that is the 2% of the GDP, but that is very low. That is the cause of concern. Okay. Beside that, you will see that if you will compare with the developed nation, most of the developed nation, this expenditure is more than 2%. For example, it is 2.7% for the average for the OECD countries. The cooperation, this economic cooperation and developed nation, they have the grouping near about the most of these countries are from the European countries. Okay. After that, you will see that it is 2% for the US and UK. Okay. So please see that what is the condition, and many experts have called India to spend at least 1% of the GDP and 3% if we want to compete with the developed nation, because we need to accelerate in more speedier manner. So this is the aim. Here it has given that the most of this investment that is form the part of the research and development, that comes from the this government, not from the private. Okay, so you will see that this private contribute only 36%, government, that is the union government, that is the 43%, state government contribution is also very low. So this is the cause of concern. Here we need to increase this percentage. This need to be a bit higher, and also this need to be increased into the state government expenditure. Beside that, already the expenditure is low. The thing worth saying, if the thing is not utilized in the better manner. For example, if there is the 10 people to serve, we need to serve the food for the 10 people. Already we have the food for the 7 people. And if we will start wasting our chapatis, rice, this dal and this vegetables, what will happen? Even we cannot serve this 7 people. So if this already is lesser, we should be very smart in utilization. But here it is given that how we have utilized. Mostly there has been a large portion of the budget has not been utilized. For example, it has given that the budget during the budgetary allocation during 2022-23, Department of Biotechnology used only 72% of the budget that is allocated to it. Again, it has given for the Department of Science and Technology. This is just 61%. So this shows that how the budgetary allocation is not being utilized in a proper manner. So what we need, India also need we have to work on this. We have to increase the budget. Beside that, we need to work in the other area where the bureaucratic capacity could be utilized, where they can evaluate which project is most needed, that is necessary of the time. Prioritization is very important. If budgetary allocation is happen, then we should go for the monitoring, that what are the situation, how much project has been completed, what is the need, how the money is being used. All this thing is needed for the better utilization and to do better into research and technology. So I think most of the relevant news has been taken and we will conclude our session here. Thank you for joining the session. All the best. Jai Hind.